For the past 25 years, I have worked as a tax professional. Consistently, I step into my office with certainty, realizing my clients entrust me with their funds and their fates. Hello there, I go by Amanda. I'm 50 years of age. I've generally adored numbers and duty codes are my riddle. However, of late, the situation feels different around here. After Mr. Jordan ran the organisation, things were clear and unsurprising. In any case, presently with Mr. Bobby, his child, in control. The environment has moved. The workplace is humming with changes, some great, however some agitating. The greatest change is the advancement of Jason to head the duty division. He's just been with us for a considerable length of time, yet his quick ascent doesn't shock me. Jason has an approach to exploring the workplace issues that I just can't get a handle on. And afterward, there's Janet, his right hand. She's sharp and aggressive, fast with her numbers, yet additionally with her tongue. Something really doesn't add up about the manner in which she checks out at me that sets my nerves nervous, like she knows something I don't. They move around the workplace like they own it, and perhaps in a manner they do. They surely appear to have Mr. Bobby's ear. I actually take care of my business all that can be expected, yet I feel the developing pressure. Jason continues to heap more work in front of me, letting me know this is on the grounds that he confides as far as I can tell. However, his trust accompanies a side of doubt, observing intently for any mix-up. Janet is never a long ways behind, murmuring things that never fully contact me, however consistently appear to arrive at Mr. Bobby. Despite the fact that the strain assembles, I know my value and the worth of my work. My clients do as well, and that makes all the difference for me. In any case, I can't shake the inclination that something is blending, and I simply trust I'm ready for whatever comes straight away. I'm no more odd to change, yet Jason's new advancement has shaken the workplace. His new situation as top of the expense division is something beyond a title for him. Changing the rules is his opportunity. He appears to flourish with control, utilizing his power to scare as opposed to motivate. Jason seldom cooperates straightforwardly with me. However, when he does, it's consistently with that not at all subtle presumption. Slope dropped by my work area. I filtering my heaps of administrative work, consistently with a study about proficiency or practicality. According to he, like I haven't been doing this for a really long time. I maintain a calm demeanour, however, on the grounds that I realise my work represents itself with no issue. Janet, his collaborator, is dependably close behind, frequently professing to take notes on her tablet while she's really looking at my records. There's a calculatedness in their communications that makes me uncomfortable, similar to their coordinating something I can't yet see. She is an approach to inclining in and murmuring to Jason, sharing confidential jokes that make me keep thinking about whether I'm the zinger. Mr. Bobby, the new president, isn't over his head. He's young, unpracticed, and excessively effectively influenced by Jason and Janet's impact. He doesn't have similar knowledge his dad had, and I dread he's bound to heed their guidance than trust the senses of those who've been with the organisation longer. The elements in the workplace are moving, and I feel the ground moving underneath me. Jason is methodically evolving conventions, unobtrusively lessening my job and impact while intensifying his own. Consistently, it seems like the walls are shutting in somewhat more. Clients that used to come to me directly are now going through him, which means I have less interaction with them and more busy work. Be that as it may, I hold my head down and take care of my business. I've endured changes previously, and I can deal with this as well. I just need to keep my focus on the task at hand and wait for the storm to pass, believing that my knowledge and commitment will see me through whatever Jason and Janet have in mind. The environment in the workplace becomes thicker constantly, and it's not simply in my mind. The whispers of Jason and Janet become less subtle, and Mr. Bobby's disquiet is more clear. My responsibility increments. However, it's not the sort of work I'm utilised to. I'm being immersed with commonplace errands and administrative work that have barely anything to do with my aptitude. Amanda, can you handle this? Giving over a heap of client records. We really want these evaluated before the week's over. The errands are tedious and generally administrative, while underneath my compensation grade, however I don't say anything negative. All things being equal, I push through, trusting my versatility will demonstrate my value. Janet, in every case close by, tolls in, We realize you can deal with it, Amanda. All things considered, you're our best. There's a pleasantness in her tone that causes my hair to stand on end. She streaks me a grin that doesn't contact her eyes prior to going to Jason's office. She hears the door close with a click. As days go by, obviously they're attempting to detach me. My discussions with Mr. Bobby are less and far between, as he appears to be additional keen on hearing from Jason. I am aware that when I do speak with him, he makes vague complaints about client dissatisfaction and my overtime hours. I start to feel the walls shutting in as my obligations are disintegrated, with additional clients being coordinated to Jason and Janet. The uneasiness in the workplace is substantial, with murmurs spreading about changes in administration and rebuilding. It's getting colder each day, and I can feel the chill of being left out. I keep trying to control my workload despite the rising tension. I will not allow their plans to break me. The work may be drawn out. Be that as it may, I won't provide them with the fulfillment of seeing me waver. My clients trust me, and I owe it to them to continue to push ahead. I simply have to remain on track and keep up with my determination, despite the fact that the seeds of contention are solidly planted, and I know it's inevitable before they sprout. The pressure in the workplace is practically deplorable at this point. My work hours and productivity have been the subject of open accusations from Jason and Janet. Amanda. There have been worries about your extra time claims, Jason says one morning, the sprinkle of a sneer playing at the side of his lips. Mr. Bobby wishes to discuss it with you. An allegation hits me hard. Extra time claims? I have generally worked my hours genuinely and never violated. However, the implication is obvious. Jason is laying the basis to drive me out. I stroll into Mr. Bobby's office, nerves instructed. As I take a seat, he looks uneasy, shifting in his chair. Amanda, I've been hearing a few disturbing things about your presentation recently. He starts, not gathering my eyes. Jason and Janet have communicated worries about your adherence to organization strategy. The heaviness of Jason and Janet's control pushes down on me. It's unmistakable Mr. Bobby trusts them. And for what reason couldn't he? He's young and depends vigorously on their judgment. I guarantee you, I've been following the organization's approaches exactly. Even though my heart is racing, I respond with a steady voice. Mr. Bobby peers down at his work area, then back up at me. Please accept my apologies, Amanda. Yet the choice has been made. I will need to request your resignation, my reality movements, and I battle to stay under control. On what grounds? I figure out how to ask, my voice scarcely over a murmur. Mister, your client dissatisfaction and ours, Bobby stammers. His words are empty. However, I can see there's no contending with him. The choice has proactively been made, and nothing I say will adjust his perspective. I leave the workplace, head held high, yet inside I'm broken. Long stretches of devotion, dependability, and difficult work have been deleted by a couple of murmured lies. Jason and Janet's snare has worked, and I'm out. The workplace around me obscures as I get together my things, the mumble of partners reverberating in my ears. I can't accept how rapidly everything has changed. I leave the workplace once and for all, uncertain of what's on the horizon. However, there is a glimmer of determination even in my sorrow. I won't allow them to break me. That day, leaving the office, feels like entering a void, a small box containing my identity, routine, and career. I meander home in a shock, feeling like the very ground underneath me has disintegrated away. The principal week is the hardest. Every day I awaken hoping to head into the workplace, just to recollect that I have no place to go. My telephone, once humming with client calls and messages, presently sits quiet right in front of me. A deafening silence now fills the space I once occupied with calculations and numbers. I go through my days thinking about the occasions that drove me here. The signs were there, the murmurs, the looks, the progressions in responsibility. However, I would have rather not trusted them. I confided in my work and notoriety, thinking they'd safeguard me. Yet, Jason and Janet were more brilliant, more scheming than I gave them credit for. Fresh insight about my abdication rapidly spreads through the business, leaving my clients befuddled and stressed. A few of them talk to me, and each one is filled with disappointment. "We confided in you," one says. "What was the deal?" another inquires. I give my all to make sense of, yet words neglect to catch the selling out I've encountered. The truth of my circumstance sinks in more profound every day. Jason and Janet have won, and Sir, Bobby's visually impaired trust in them fixed my destiny. However, in spite of everything, I can't allow myself to be consumed by harshness. The dimness of rote can't hold me down until the end of time. As the days stretch on, a seed of trust starts to grow. I have the chance to rethink my career, my objectives, and my life with my newfound freedom. The vulnerability is overwhelming, but at the same time, it's freeing. Without precedent for a drawn-out period of time, I get the opportunity to pick my own way, unburdened by the requirements of the workplace issues that cut me down. I begin making plans for what will come next as I begin to consider my next steps. The hurt caused by the betrayal is still present, but with each passing day, my resolve to rebuild myself and my career on my own terms gradually takes over. The walls of the company begin to fall apart a few days after I resigned. Lolling in their triumph, haven't expected the results of constraining me out. Clients who believed me start to pull out their business, and the once flourishing expense division begins draining income. I get bits of their trouble through previous associates who actually stay in contact. The office is in bedlam. One says they've lost a greater number of clients in the previous week than they did all last year. Says another, these mumbles spread rapidly, arriving at Mr. Bobby's ears as he at long last starts to comprehend the gravity of what occurred. It's not some time before he understands the organisation is in hot water. He begins settling on mad decisions to clients, attempting to console them that the firm is as yet solid, still reliable. In any case, it's past the point of no return. Clients have lost faith in the company's ability to manage their finances without me. The murmurs of discontent among clients become a thunder. Also, gets that required a long time to fabricate disintegrate in days. Jason and Janet give a valiant effort to contain the harm, yet their naivete and egotism neutralize them. Their surge choices just speed up the company's downfall. Similar murmurs they use to sabotage me currently betray them, with workers and clients the same losing trust in their authority. In a last-ditch effort to save the business, Mr. Bobby arranges an interior examination to comprehend how things spiraled crazy. What he finds about Jason and Janet's control and misleading leaves him staggered. The report is dooming, cost misrepresentation, bias, and gross carelessness in dealing with client work. With this new information, Mr. Bobby acts quickly. He summons Jason and Janet to his office, presents them with the evidence, and promptly dismisses them. The fresh insight about their terminating spreads rapidly, creating a ruckus among the leftover workers and clients. The firm attempts to rescue its standing, however it's a precarious trip. In the meantime, I'm uninvolved, watching from a distance as the organisation I dedicated such countless years to battles to recuperate. However, there's a sure justification in seeing a fair outcome given. I can't resist the urge to feel the deficiency of the profession I once cherished. The company is shocked by Jason and Janet's fall from grace, but it's also a public scandal. Insight about their offences spreads rapidly in industry circles, discolouring their notorieties, yet additionally the company's. The examination uncovers how they abused organisation reserves and took advantage of their situations to satisfy their own desires, all while abusing workers such as myself. Mr. Bobby, not entirely settled to re-establish request and recover the trust of the company's excess clients. Yet the harm has previously been finished. The workplace is humming with the fallout of Jason and Janet's excusal. Bits of hearsay whirl about their untrustworthy direct, and even murmurs of their mysterious issue saturate public information. Jason's significant other, Victoria, petitions for legal separation not long after the news breaks. The separation procedures are muddled, with fights in court over resources and allegations of unfaithfulness. Janet, as well, is pushed into strife as her expert and individual notorieties disintegrate. Both find themselves unfit to get new situations in the business, their names now inseparable from double dealing and embarrassment. However, I had no part in uncovering their bad behaviours. There's a sure fulfilment in seeing their double dealing revealed. I saw everything from a far distance, thankful to be eliminated from the confusion they caused. With Jason and Janet gone, the firm attempts to revamp. Mr. Bobby contacts me specifically, saying sorry for the manner in which things ended up and offering my situation back. He guarantees changes, security, and a restored centre around the company's qualities. Yet as far as I might be concerned, it's short of what was needed. I've proactively begun tracking down comfort in my new life, assisting at my companion's assessment office. The speed is more slow, the client's less. However, it's precisely exact thing I really want to mend from the disturbance of the beyond couple of months. I pleasantly declined Mr. Bobby's offer, in which I indicated that I would not be returning, and wished him well. Regardless of the commotion and treachery, there's a feeling of equity eventually. The truth has emerged, and those responsible have been held accountable for their actions. As the residue settles from the embarrassment, Jason and Janet's own lives disentangle. The insight about their wrongdoing in the firm spreads rapidly, and the disclosure of their issue just escalates the aftermath. Victoria, Jason's better half, quickly seeks legal separation. The official procedures are a brutal fight with her lawyers, fabricating areas of strength for an in-view of treachery and monetary double-dealing. Their resources are isolated, with Jason winding up on the terrible end. His previous partners in the business, who once regarded him, presently keep away from any relationship with him. The work market that was once open to him currently shuts its entryways. The shame hurts in the same way for Janet. With her contribution in the outrage uncovered, finding another position turns into a test. Every attempt she makes to rebuild her career is met with rejection. She is now viewed as a burden rather than a promising assistant. The tale of her untrustworthy activities follows her any place she goes, clarifying that her standing in the business is discoloured hopeless. In the meantime, I centre around my new life. It's refreshing to work at a friend's tax office, where the routine is simpler and more fulfilling. I esteem the more slow speed, the affectionate group, and the opportunity to work straightforwardly with clients who really esteem my aptitude. Here, I'm not only a pinion in a bigger machine, I'm a confided-in counsellor and a companion. However, I can't deny the fulfilment of seeing a fair outcome given. I don't harp on Jason and Janet's ruin. All things considered, I centre around my own excursion, carving out opportunity to recuperate and ponder what lies ahead. The association's disloyalty no longer characterises me. I'm allowed to outline another course. The occasions of the beyond couple of months have made one thing understood. My trustworthiness and mastery are my most grounded resources, still up in the air than any other time in recent memory, to utilise them to make a future that lines up with my qualities. The embarrassment has steered my life, yet eventually it has shown me a way where I can genuinely flourish.